Hi everyone, it's Lonnie. Welcome back to Grace Blossoms for You. So let me just pick up my mess here and we can get started. Today I am doing my spin on Rachel's weekly challenge, week number 9, and that's Roxy's weekly challenge 2025. And I must say, it ended up completely different than what she was doing, and yet somehow the same. So let's see what she was doing, roughly. She took a piece of book page, something like this. She folded it into an envelope and made the flap for it like so. The size doesn't really matter, although I would like it to be kind of straight here. Now I picked this project specifically because she covered up basically the whole page, and I picked up this what I thought was a romance novel, but it turns out it's got a lot of activity in it, if you know what I mean. And so I decided if I'm going to use it, I have to cover all of it up. So what I did then, I went from a book page to a book page that had cover on it. Tried gluing that, but it didn't work. And that's okay, because I realize I have to cover up this part as well. So then I have to find something. Oh, look, how handy is that? I'm going to use the hummingbird because some of the writing is showing, and there's a swear word right up top there. So we're just gonna make that go away. So I hope you're doing well, and I hope you get inspired to do something today, because why not? Watching is fine, but I'm finding I'm getting more joy in actually doing things these days. So however you decide to go, I pray it works out for you. So then I'm going to use this side because I need to trim it anyways. So it wouldn't have had to be covered if it didn't have all the words, but so the back I covered also, and I did that with craft colored packing paper. I have quite a bit of that, so again I was welcoming the opportunity to use some of that up. Okay, so then fold that back up, trying to make sure it's not got too much paper showing on the edge. I don't like that, so because then you can see that it's been covered. I like the idea that you use that paper that you see. I don't really like it when you can see the paper sandwich. Okay, and then this part as well. And then the other ones I sewed at this point. I sewed them all the way around, just like all the perimeters. But I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm just going to glue it. And I think that's perfectly fine. But I am going to ink it as well. Probably all the way around. Yeah, so last week we had such nice weather. We were going for walks and, well, we were going to the park next door and sitting on the bench. That's probably a little more accurate. And then over the weekend it got cold. And then yesterday it started snowing. And yeah, this morning there was ice and snow everywhere. And so it's funny how it can change so quickly. I am looking forward to spring. Okay, so here is one of the reasons I don't really like to cover paper. And if I do, I try to make it the whole, I try to cover the whole thing at once, because otherwise you get little flappy things hanging off there. And then it looks like it's been fabricated, if you know what I mean. I guess nothing really wrong with that. It's just not how I like it. Okay. I think I'm happy with that now. All right, so then that will be the envelope. So we will put glue on this part, on the edges. And then that will be the envelope. Okay, so I'm still trying to show you what Rachel did. So then she took something like a tag, and I did have one. Here it is. I took a tag that I had made previously with music paper on the front and thin cardstock on the back, and this has also been sewn and inked, but it does not yet have anything at the top for a pull. So I was thinking I would just finish this, put a hole in there, and I'm going to leave it nice and simple because I like the music paper. I don't feel like it really needs a whole lot of decorating. So I'm just gonna make a mess there. And then I was thinking this sheer ribbon would look good because it will go with the red that's on the outside and on the inside of the cover there. So just gonna stick that in. I think I have enough for a knot. I thought I had enough for a knot. Could have been a little longer, but I think that'll work. So then Rachel proceeded to somehow make this into a flip. And so I'm sorry, I don't remember where she actually, where she attached that. Okay, so that ribbon wasn't really long enough to do. I mean, I was able to tie a knot, but it didn't look very pretty, so I will try it again. Much better. All right. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna glue that on the edge, although it would fit. It would pretty much fit. It's hooking onto something, and that's where it goes inside the pocket here. So the sewing is hooking onto that. So I think what I'm going to do is put the glue right over here. And make it even on the bottom. It'll stick out a little bit up top there. So then when you open it, you can write on the tag. Now I put my stamp on here. I was trying it out, and I do like how it looks. If somebody wanted to, they could write over top of that, no problem. And also there's some writing space in the back. So I think that was the gist of Rachel's project. And so I like that, and I'm like, huh, that's cool. Then I started mass making them, and something else happened. I don't know why or how, but it did. And so I have a few examples to show you, and we can compare them. So this, let me just cover my glue so it doesn't escape on me. Okay. So again, I started with the book page and I covered it up, right? So this would have been the pocket of the envelope. And so I was going to, well, first I sewed around the perimeters, and then I had the idea to make a pocket out of the flap instead. And so then that left me with no pocket. So I decided to put some pages in instead. And so this will be the writing spot. And now the envelope has become a little booklet. And I really like them, I have to say. But that was not really what I was planning to do. And since it's so thin, I was able to actually sew just down the top there. And now it's a booklet. I haven't decided if I'm gonna make a closure for it. It's very small, it's not huge. But I was thinking with this one, I would like to round the corners. If I can find my corner rounder. You know, I always seem to have one, and it's usually the one that I'm not wanting at the time. Let me try this one. That'll work. That'll look fancy. Okay, so I just wanted to leave this one here for an example. That was, like I said, what I imagined Roxy's creations. Yeah, Rachel, that's the one I imagined she was doing. At least that's the one I fully intended to make when I started out. So interesting to me how that, you know, your intentions are one thing and then you end up doing something different. And I think that's okay. I think that's what makes our projects unique. So that's kind of nice with that edge. All right, so I'm going to ink it. So I covered the one book page with this other book page that I had run through my jelly plate. So, and then I did a leaf stencil. And I did mention already that I sewed. You don't have to sew, that's totally not necessary, as I already showed you in my original. I do like it though, I think it adds something to it. So, okay, that was one. So you can see it's still, I used the envelope that I made or prepared, but it just ended up completely different. And yes, for this one, I used a bigger page because originally I was using this size of a book page. Let me put it this way. The book page was this size. The book page for this one was slightly wider at least. So, however you do it, whatever is going to fit in your journals, that's the size you should make it. And then this one, again, the same thing. And I made a whole bunch of them. So this was another jelly. This one I actually sewed the pocket. This one I did not because it was a little thicker. So my intention then was to come back and glue this edge down. So then this will be the pocket. And then the writing spot. And then you can still decorate the inside if you like. You could put an additional pocket in there. I was thinking maybe put an additional small pocket and then you could put a tag inside there. And this might work into a standalone project. At this time, I'm not really sure. I was gonna put it in a journal, was my thinking. All right, so that's two. Some more. These are pretty much all the same, except if they were pretty thick, I did not glue the pocket down yet. I just wanted to show you how one project can end up being completely different from start to finish. And usually I have a little more discipline to stick with it, but this time it just kind of did its own thing. And I'm kind of happy that it did because I was needing a few more notebook type embellishments anyway. So this one's quite thin, which is nice. Okay. And then this one I used digital to cover. Again, I sewed. And I didn't want to have just, I don't know, I thought the digital added a little more strength, so I just went with it and covered the inside of the pocket as well. Gotta hold that for a little bit so that it actually sticks. And again, I used another digital. On the inside though, I used the tea-dyed, yeah, it was tea-dyed wax paper. And so that makes for a fun experience. And And here's another, and again I haven't glued the pocket down yet, but you get to see a few examples here. This one I use butterflies, and again I haven't glued that down yet. So, in fact, I was kind of toying with the idea of maybe making some of these like a little wallet. And so you see again that it would be different than it started out. I probably will leave that as a pocket. And same with this one. This is a digital also. And in this case, it's probably more of a tuck. I think I tried to glue it down, but the paper didn't take to the glue so well. So there you go. Those are the things that I was working on. And it all started with Rachel's idea for a flip envelope. Yeah, so I think now I have to make some of these because I do like that. You can still use it as an envelope, pretty much. I mean, depending on the tag you use, it sticks out a little bit. I don't really mind. You just need a wider pocket to put it in, or you need to clip it into your journal that way. However that works for you, I think it's completely workable, and I think it was a great idea, so much so that I think now I gotta make some of these yet, because, you know, why not? They're similar and yet they're different enough that you could definitely use both. I mean, let's pull out the one with the same kind of cover. Right up top, of course. So all this one from the outside, it's really just missing the tag. And then when you open it up, this one has all that writing paper, whereas this one has a bigger pocket. So yeah, I think those two projects work very well together. And too, it could be a little bit of a set if you use the same papers that you did for the other project. So I hope you like that, and hopefully it gave you some ideas. I will link Rachel's video below, and have a look at that one. And we'll see you again next time. God bless you, and bye for now.